welcome to Tangling Along with me. We are going to make a tile today, and I thought why not use this tile that I already started on in this video right here. This is the pattern that I used for this one. And I'm thinking let's do something about this tile. So I am going to go in with my corner dots as we normally make them in a tile or on a tile, and then I am going to connect my corner dots with a line. This way I get my string line. No, my border, of course. Now for the string line, I already have this right there, so I'm thinking maybe popping in some kind of a border or something here behind that one, and then leave these spaces open to pop in stuff here. And I decided to make this pattern right here on this piece because it is a border. So it is starting with this wavy line. So I'm just gonna make kind of a wavy line, and I am going under where I have the other pattern, and I'm just making as if I am going through here so that I know where to start. I'm gonna do the same on the other side here, just making sure I am having the ups and downs around the same place, so they're making this kind of wavy shape here. Then on the inside I'm gonna do that again, and this time they're going to connect, so I'm trying to hit the middle here, going out, going in on the middle, out in the bubbles, in on the middle, and out on the bubbles, and the same on the other side. Now hitting the middle here, so we did this patterns once before, but we are popping it in here as a border. And here we're going to have these leaves on the sides, and I'm deciding to go over my border right here to make them. But you can stay within your border if you want to, so that would be hidden right there. And then I would have them here again. I am going over my border to make them. Turning my piece to do it on the other side. Just popping in two of these leaves here. And I'm pretty sure I would be able to see this behind there. So that's the start. So now we can do decorations here on the inside if we want to. We could make lines. I think we made line in the books, and lines in the book. Today I'm gonna put in a pearl here in the middle of the big room. Would be around here on this side, and then I'm just gonna squeeze in another pearl here on the sides. I'm I'm gonna do it over here as well. Then I am turning my tile and doing the same on this side. And I could color in the small pieces, their interests here between the pearls with the black Micron here, but I'm using my brown brush pen because I want a little other color in there. So I'm just coloring in these small interesties. And I'm taking my time with this. And you can use another color or another pen if you want to. That's all up to you. There we go. I like that. Cap that one. But we're not all done with this pattern because we need a aura around everything. So I'm going to again go by the rules of my border. So I'm gonna start at the border and then make my aura around the pattern here. And again, I'm just taking my time with this. And I'm ending on my border. Turning my tile and starting again at the border. Making my aura around this pattern. There we go. I actually think that's pretty neat. So that was one border that we liked here. I actually think I'm going to take my brown pen here and then just color in these the auras here. And again, you don't need to do this you could also leave it in black and white. There is still something really, really pretty around the black and white tiles. I like this pattern here a lot, so I am going in and doing that, and I'm thinking maybe over here. So I'm taking this as one big room, and I'm gonna make my first grid line here, going under this pattern here, going a bit down, making a grid line again, going under. And let's go down here and under. And then I am going to make these triangular shapes here. All the way down this first line here. Like that. And then I am going to let that continue. So I have my point there. It would be around here. Just trying to make sure that my points are almost on top of each other. So that would be up here somewhere. Like that, and there we go. And I'm just gonna leave this little space down here because I can. So again, we have made this one before. I am going to find me a line here. I have the lines this way. So I am going to make this, I'm not sure I can call it an S shape, because it's not, because it's kind of a wavy line going up and then down and following the line. Going down and following the line. It's a bit hard here where you can't see everything. So it's going up and down and follow the line. Let's do it down here. So up, down, follow the line. So it would be going up, down, follow the line. Then I turn it around so my lines are now this way. And I'm going to do the same, going up, swinging down and follow the line. This will be going down, going up, swinging down, follow the line. Then I'm turning it again and finding the next line here. And yes, it is a bit chaotic here on this tile because there are so many sites and places where to do it. So, and we have these small places here, but I'm doing my best. So, and that is the important part. Just do your best. But here you really must be keeping your attention. So we are needing this line here. Let me see it like that. I jumped one right here. So there's a line right here going up and coming down. So as I said, we really need to look out here on this tile. And then we have this one. So that you have 3 in each of these triangular shapes. And it can be really hard to see where you have them and where you don't. I would have something right here as well. I think I got them all. So that's neat. And then you can either leave it like this, or you can make even more of these. You can also just go in and make kind of a little line coming out from each of these corners. So I'm having my pattern, so I have a triangular shape here, and then I'm just again finding where these pattern ends and then make the, let's take this one, so I have a triangular shape right here. Starting from the corners, I'm making my line and the dot again, having one here, and this is a triangular shape, so the line and a dot, and here and I think I forgot a little piece right here, and here I have one in this corner. So that was this one. So this one is also one, and here is one, and up there like that. So that's a pattern. It's a really cool pattern, but it looks really crowded when it is small like this, but I think it turned out really neat. Now for this one, I am going to go with this pattern here because that is more organic. So I'm gonna pop that in right here. First of all, we have the black orb that I am going to color all black. And then we are going in with this spiral shape that has almost the same diameter as this one. And I'm gonna do the same here on this side. Then I am going to turn my tile and do it here on this side as well. And over here. And that's all there is to this pattern. So we can go in, make an orb, and I'm gonna make this without a color because I want that to be brown later. So I'm going in with my swirly swirls here, turning my tile, and remember to lift your pen when you're hitting something. Let's place a black one right here. And then first on one side, then on the other side, turn around. And then just keep going until you don't have any more room. And I am lifting each time I am hitting another pattern. Pop one in here. Maybe a black one right here. And I think I am going to pop in a few printons here, just because I can. To fill it a bit more. And I'm starting with a dot and then going into the spiral. And if I hit another pattern, I am going under that by lifting up my pen. Kind of continuing under and then around, making one here as well. Just here and there to make it look even more full. Or you could continue with the pattern itself if you wanted to. I think that's enough. Cap this one, take my brown, and I'm going to color in these orbs here. That we lift. There we go. I kind of like this. I was actually prepared to put in more color, but now I'm not so sure if I want any more color. But then again, I have my metallic green. That's a jelly roll from Sakura, and I'm thinking about maybe popping in a orb here of the green in these bigger orbs here. Again, you don't need to do this. And then like that. So now we have a tiny bit of green in there. I kind of like this. I were thinking about popping in a green dot here and there in this pattern here around the middle of each of these triangular shapes. And be careful with your hand while using the jelly roll. Just to get a little more color in there. I think I like that. So now I'm just going to leave that to dry for a second, and then I will be back for making the shadings. I think it is almost dry now. I have a tiny spot where it isn't, but otherwise it's all dry. I am going to erase my border here. Normally you don't need to do this, but when I am drawing on the camera, or for the camera, for you guys, then I am putting a tiny more pressure on my pencil than I normally would, so it is not kind of disappearing like it will while drawing normally. So I am just erasing the worst of it. There we go. Now for shading. So I am using my graphite and my Tortillions for my graphite. And I'm just looking at this piece and thinking, I have this border thing, this pattern here that is kind of over on top of everything. So I am going to shade on each side of this. So I'm using my graphite here and just placing a line of the graphite. And I'm placing a quite big line because I like bold shadows. You might like smaller shadings than I do, and then you just go ahead and shade like you like. And I'm only showing one way of shading. I take this part here as well, but you could do it with a color if you wanted to. A soft pastel, pan pastel I think they're called, or the charcoals if you want that instead, or maybe just a tiny graphite. Anyway, you can do it just like you want to. I'm just showing you one way to do this. So I'm using my Tortillions in small circle movements. I found that this is the best way to do it. As a kid, I always used a piece of paper rolled up. And that was actually some kind of tortillon. I just never knew that there was something called a tortillon. So I made my own of paper. What you can do as well, I think I have a video on that. I think I'm gonna pop in a tiny bit of shading here, just a tiny bit from the side of it. And then I'm again using my Tortillion, leaving the top part there white, and then dragging it down. Like that. I think that's neat. Then we have another border going under here. Actually, I think I'm gonna pop in a tiny bit here on the leaves. Just a tiny bit. Again, using my Tortillion to soften that out. And turn your tile around so it fits with your hand the way it fits best for you. There we go. Taking my Tortillion. I need a new one soon. Softening this out into the shadow. And I think again I'm going to make a shadow along this borderline here. Using my Tortillion to soften that out. Sorry about that. Tortillion or Tortillion. I don't know the right word for it, but I still like them. Turning it around, doing the same over here. There we go. Again, using my Tortillion. Softening it all into my shadow here. Around this. I like that. I'm thinking of going in and just pillowing out this pattern here. Again, using my Tortillion to soften that out into a nice shadow. And I'm gonna do the same here. Using my Tortillion. There we go. I kind of like this. I think I am going to take my white graphite and just pop in a tiny bit here in the centers of these patterns that are kind of behind everything, just to tone it down a bit. And the same here. Again, just using the side of my Tortillion for this. And I have a tiny bit of the graphite on it, I see, but I think it works as well anyway. I kind of like that. I think I'm going to end right there. So I am going to pop in my chop here. There we go. And I will write my name and the date here on the back later. But that's all there is. So I showed you how to use a tile for testing out a pattern, and instead of just using the tile for just testing out a pattern and then throwing it away, you can always go back to your tiles and draw on more stuff there until you're really happy with the tile. I actually think this one came out really neat. I'm thinking of taking a tiny bit of my shading here, just what I have on my Tortillion here. You don't have to do this. I like that. Anyway, that is one way to do a tile where you already did a test run on it. I think this turned out really neat. So that is it for today. I hope you like this one. Thank you for watching. Have an attitude of gratitude.